Hey guys, it's your friend Kobe here, and today I'm going to give you some sweet talk. Yes, I'm going to talk to you about the business of cookies. Recently I've noticed a bunch of cookie shops popping up near where I live, and this made me wonder, what is it with all these oversized and overpriced gourmet cookie things? Why is it so popular, and is this just a fad, or is this actually going to stay around? And so I did my thing. I spent hours researching the industry and having my mouth water as I stared at these warm, crumbly, melty, soft cookies. And now I'm here to tell you in just a few minutes what has made places like Crumbl and Great American Cookies so successful, and why the cookie business isn't always as sweet as it sounds. But first, make sure you like and subscribe so that you can see more videos about business successes and failures. I can't give you a cookie through the screen for subscribing, but if I could, I definitely would. So I started looking into this because it seems like there's a Crumbl everywhere now. They're just popping up all over the place. Just look at this map of the United States. There are over 600 different locations, and the first store only opened up in 2017. The only states that don't have Crumbl are Vermont and Delaware, and those have relatively small populations, and in all honesty, you're probably small enough that you could drive to a different location in another state anyway. This led me to think that the cookie fad was new, but a little bit of research led me to discover that cookie businesses have been around for a while. The Great American Cookies business, which started all the way back in 1977, has 371 locations. And as this map shows, they are way more popular in the eastern United States. So me being from the western United States, it made sense that I hadn't really heard of them. So here's how the cookie business has developed, why Crumbl is so different and grew so quickly, and how the cookie competition is looking going forward. Great American Cookies was originally a family recipe, and their most unique feature was that they sold cake cookies. Like the actual cake, these cookies were huge and oversized, and decorated just like cakes. And this is a great option for special occasions like birthdays, Mother's Days, weddings, and especially because, is it just me, or are cakes not actually that great? Like in general, I would much rather take a big cookie over a nice piece of cake. If you disagree, let me know in the comments, but I'm a big cookie fan. Anyway, they also do normal sized cookies too. Not like Crumbl normal size, but like actual little normal sized. But what did Crumbl do to grow so quickly and stand out that made them twice the size in 1/6 of the time, and even more nationwide? First of all, their cookies are huge. Second, they really knew business, and by that I mean the owners really weren't bakers, they were business people. Jason McCohen was in the tech industry, and Sawyer Hemsley was a student in college. While they had to learn how to bake, they knew how to use testing methods to figure out which would be the most popular cookies and focus in on those products. They spent thousands of dollars making sure their product was absolutely perfect. They also focused on their branding. Their motto is, "It's all about the details." The boxes needed to fit the cookies perfectly. These boxes and their store aesthetics needed to align, and for some reason they made everything pink. Maybe it's because pink stands out as you're driving by it down the road, or it makes it give a more homegrown vibe. I don't know. Crumbl knew how to capitalize on people's emotions and implement modern technology. People have big FOMO, or fear of missing out. By creating a rotating menu, or in other words, some cookies come and go, they don't sell all the cookies all the time, more people would come by to try these new and unique flavors. Being young businessmen, they also knew how to work social media. They have 1.27 million subscribers on YouTube, 3.5 million followers on Instagram, and have 6.5 million followers on TikTok. That is insane for just a cookie company. They know if they can get people to subscribe because they don't want to miss out on these deals and ever-changing menus, they'll get lots of people to come, especially if they're seeing these videos and pictures of the perfect cookies over and over and over again. Not only did they use technology for advertising, but they also reduced costs by using technology and automation to make and deliver cookies. But like I said, the cookie business isn't always as sweet as what they sell. Last year, Crumbl filed a lawsuit against Dirty Dough, a cookie chain with about 50 locations, and Crave Cookies, which has 7 locations. Why? Because Crumbl claims they're being copied. Do you notice all the similarities between these businesses? Crumbl came before the other two, and look how these other shops' brands look really similar to Crumbl's. Here's the thing though, anyone can copy baking and selling cookies, and at some point the advertising and boxing and branding will be pretty similar. But Dirty Dough has a little bit more in this story. The founder of Dirty Dough is an ex-employee of Crumbl named Bradley Maxwell. His brother didn't get hired, so he left and joined his brother at Dirty Dough, which the two brothers bought when it was still a pretty recent startup, and they thought it could expand by using more franchising. Bradley Maxwell learned all the recipes while he worked at Crumbl, but when he left, accusations from Crumbl said that he brought 643.7 megabytes of information from Crumbl with him, and that information included 66 Crumbl recipes, building schematics, processes, statistics, a cookie calendar, and training videos. To add to the intrigue, there's recorded voicemails that confirm a Dirty Dough plan to copy Crumbl in many ways. While the shops aren't completely the same, the main difference being that Dirty Dough focuses on the inside of the cookie, often filling it with something, and Crumbl focuses more on the top of the cookie, they are really similar. But how much of a copyright claim do you have for a cookie business? Dirty Dough, upset about the lawsuit, started creating hilarious videos about how they're not stealing anything from Crumbl. If you want to check those out, you can click on the links in the description right below the like button. I thought they were pretty funny. I think you'll enjoy them too. Maxwell posted on LinkedIn, a billion-dollar company suing 2 startups. Why? Because apparently you put sprinkles on your cookies. Crumbl thinks they own that. He created ads saying, "Cookies so good we're being sued." And finally, he's created the hashtag Utah Cookie Wars. While we acknowledge that Crave and Dirty Dough may be copying some aspects of Crumbl in some ways, we have to remember that Crumbl wasn't first. Crumbl is unique, but they were really just applying tried and true techniques from the likes of Costco, with rotating items in and out of sale, In-N-Out by using a specific color scheme to make it feel more homegrown, and Tesla by using social media and grassroots word-of-mouth advertising as free advertising. Crumbl wasn't the first to create a business on selling cookies either. I already mentioned how Great American Cookies started back in 1977, but other companies have been popping up over the years. Insomnia Cookies, another cookie chain which now has 200 locations, started in 2003. They started by targeting college students who wanted treats delivered outside of regular bakery hours. Insomnia Cookies are open until 3 a.m. Nestle Toll House Cafe has 13 locations, and there's hundreds of other smaller local cookie shops. But if I had to say who Crumbl was probably the most influenced by or maybe copied, I'd definitely say it's Chip Cookies. Chip is a small chain with only 7 locations, but it started in Utah and is decently similar in branding to Crumbl. So did Crumbl copy anything from them? There doesn't seem to be any ex-employee connections like there is between Crumbl and Dirty Dough, but the businesses and advertising are really similar, and Chip did come first. Chip, however, doesn't seem to be pushing for franchising like Crumbl is. They seem to be more focused on just their local market and community. So how are all these parallels appearing? Are people just copying each other on purpose, or is everyone just realizing that this is a really good business idea? We can actually look at the luxury soda market to better understand. There are 2 startups called Sodalicious and Swig, which both focus on sodas but also sell cookies. These mostly soda shops were becoming very popular just before Crumbl started. Swig started in 2010 and Sodalicious joined the competition not too long after and started doing the same exact thing. Swig tried to sue Sodalicious, but the lawsuit ended with more or less of a draw. Deseret News reported that the terms of the settlement required each side to bear its own costs, except as agreed by the parties, but didn't go into specifics beyond that. With this precedent, I don't think that Crumbl will be able to actually win their case. Anyway, I've noticed a trend and found it kind of funny that so many of these business startups are happening in Utah. This could be connected to the fact that so many Utahns are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So, they don't drink alcohol or coffee, meaning that many people in Utah don't go to bars or coffee shops. So sweet alternatives like cookies and sodas in a fun, friendly get-together or date night environment are a big hit. So why is the cookie business so successful other than appealing to sugar addicts? For one, these businesses make a lot of money for how small their stores are, at only 1,500 square feet. Each Crumbl on average brings in $1.6 million a year, whereas McDonald's at 3 times the size makes $2.7 million per year. So per square foot, a Crumbl makes $1,066 a year in revenue, while McDonald's makes only $600 per square foot in revenue. When you take into account costs of doing business, companies like Crumbl's appeal becomes even more clear. The profit margin is about 16%, and that's a lot larger than most restaurants, which have a profit margin of between 2 and 9%. Remember our McDonald's comparison? Well, the average McDonald's will have $150,000 left over for its franchisor after expenses, while a Crumbl will send home $250,000 in profit. So why are they so profitable? It's because while the cookies are expensive to buy in the shops, they aren't very expensive or hard to make. Very few workers are required, especially for Dirty Dough. Apparently the cookies for Dirty Dough are actually shipped from a factory and only 1 employee is really needed to run each store. All these factors keep costs low, but demand is still really high because the cookies are the type of thing that are great for work meetings, parties, and get-togethers. They're a great size for small and large activities, and they don't melt like ice cream. They're easy to cut in half or give away as a whole, and there's more flavor options than things like brownies or even cupcakes. In the end, cookie shops have been around for a really long time, and they're all influencing each other. Crumbl seems to have taken the business to a whole new level and spread surprisingly quickly with their unique marketing ideas and great recipes. But who will actually win the lawsuit is unknown. It seems like Dirty Dough is pretty confident because they're throwing a lot of shade and lighthearted humor in their social media and advertising. But honestly, there's no way to know who's going to win, and there's a lot of stuff that needs to be cleared up. Either way, cookies are a really successful industry right now, and Crumbl plus a few other chains could become multi-billion-dollar companies. Will they stick? I'm not sure. Some food fads just come and go. Think about frozen yogurt, for example. It's still around, but not nearly as popular as it used to be. What do you think about these cookie shops? Are they copying each other unfairly? Which one is best? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're interested in learning more about the world of business and finance, make sure you subscribe, as I produce weekly videos that are super awesome and fun and hopefully educational. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.